Alright guys, so we are going to get this thing a-rolling. I know it's a little bit bumpy here, and oh my god, why is that up? That should not be up. There we go. Oh god. Been a nightmare of nightmares. Hyper is going to be on the red side. We are going to be seeing ESF on the blue side. This is going to be, let's see, week number 3, or rather match number 3 for the Auzom Transatlantic Cup event, tournament, however you want to put that. I am going to be Brett FX, your main caster today, controlling all of the boops and bops and beeps. Hopefully it's not going to be too bad because it's been a while since I've done it, and I'm going to be joined here by Gump, who's going to be my co-caster. Sexy,
Hello,
amazing guy. I mean, just basically, he starts talking and women just melt. So, really glad that he's going to be joining me today.
I wish that was true. Yeah, thanks for inviting me though.
Anywho's, let's go ahead and get things started off. So ESF right now is going to be able to get a triple cap, start that burn in their favor. By the way, guys, this is going to be a best of one on Zavod. Nice little pickup there from Beastie. Just basically pre-watching that corner, making sure nobody's going to be any kind of suicide push going up through there, trying to take control of B. But yeah, really good hold starting out for these guys. Like I said, they're going to be able to get that bleed in their favor quite a bit right at the very beginning. And because this is a 4-flag map, this is very, very difficult to actually get a bleed in your favor, especially if you have some pretty good infantry teams that are going back and forth there in the middle. Those flags can flip-flop quite a bit, which we are seeing right now. B and C both going to be completely grayed out, as Wintal now going to be jumping on down. Gets the hit fire there onto Wicked, but will end up dying from, looks like, an explosion. And,
yeah, interestingly enough, we saw Hyper pushing that Bravo flag very hard, and ESF kind of melted in the middle. Both flags got neutralized with Charlie nearly getting capped by the Hyper guys. So not really holding their positions, holding the flags really too effectively there. ESF, so a mistake.
Yeah, and we did see Hyper just lose their tank right onto that B site, which I don't really agree with too much. Pushing it up there that aggressively. He did get disabled, and he did eventually go down. So yeah, I think both tanks now for the squad.
That is correct.
Yeah,
yes.
Both tanks are now going to be dead. So that, not too bad, I guess, if you're going to suicide your tank. The only difference now, or the only thing that's really bad now, is the fact that the other team is going to get theirs on a slightly faster timer than what you will. But we are going to be seeing Cauldron doing a nice job picking up a couple of frags. Can't get that second one that's going to be pushing down through tunnel. Will end up getting picked up. And now Wicked Way is going to be making his way on top, trying to push on down into the flag site, but he can't even make his way into the building just yet. Will end up getting picked up as well as his teammate. Fantastic job from ESF with that defense. And yeah, so far, ESF looking like they are going to be able to stabilize with that 2-2 setup, which is pretty common here on this map. And we're just going to be kind of fighting it out, bare knuckle brawls in the middle.
Also, we've seen an interesting trade in the home flags with ESF controlling the Hyper back for home flag, and vice versa, Hyper then taking that alpha flag. As we see ESF moving here with John and the heli, Mr. Joyce getting the heli stock and ends up taking it down. As a result, boy, here we go. The alpha blink is going strong. It's a 2v2 situation. Can Lucas is trying to smell the ash shot here on John, but doesn't decide to go for it. Says it's too risky.
And this is a very frustrating flag to actually hold, because there are so many places here for Hyper to actually get into, to hide, to start burning. I mean, right now they haven't even found Lucas yet. He's still going to be running around. We see the tank trying to spot out the guy.
He's going for the
ass shot. Spot him out. Oh, he doesn't get taken down. But you know, you can hide in a lot of nooks and crannies. It's very hard. But they did end up basically delaying John long enough for their own tank to end up coming back out of base. So nobody's really going to have an armor advantage coming up. Maybe just a few seconds here as John will be able to get some splash damage there on Wicked. Takes him out eventually, but really curious to see if he's going to be playing this too aggressively for very long. You know, a lot of times you do see this tank's playing a little bit more passive, I would like to say. Possibly push it. Oh, wait. Is that a C4 Jeep? It is. Right now we are going to be seeing a C4 Jeep coming in from Hyper. And he is not spotted yet. I don't think the tank knows it. No, he doesn't. There he is. He pops it, but it's too far away. Will end up going down and dying, but that could have been huge right there had he been able to get that off.
That is true, but we also saw a temporary full cap, which is the Hyper boys got wiped in the middle flags, and they are now finally taking a delta flag. But ESF is having strong numbers in that middle flag, where Hyper has on Bravo a Mr. Wicked who ends up getting a frag on the roofs. We have one guy blinking Charlie, but this is not looking too good for for Hyper Boys right now. They need to get more spawns on Charlie and at least focus down one of the flags instead of splitting up too much, because splitting up is not good in this situation. They don't have the bleed in their favor.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, Wintaw does going to be getting picked up there into the bottom, but his teammate's still going to be up and alive. So they're going to be able to, well, no, they did end up getting picked up there for the last one. Cauldron is going to be the only man left up and alive there onto that seaside, so they should be able to get it back into their favor. But that tank's still playing extremely aggressive there. Delirium, he's really trying to make his way here into the middle of the map. We'll be able to get a disable there, but he's disabled himself as well. And actually, is he getting pushed? Yeah, he's actually got a repair tool that's going to be able to take him down. So fantastic job there from ESF taking down that armor. That's one of the reasons why going up so aggressively there is very risky. But at the same time, it looks like ESF has lost their tank as well. So both of these teams very loose in terms of their armor.
That is true, and again, ESF having not a single guy spawning an alpha flag. Mr. Senju, who was trying to do a C4 quad, but the tank ended up going down before he managed to do that, capping a solar. They even got an extra spawn there, but ESF not defending alpha site at all, and this is looking like a potential full cap right now in the favor of Hyper, so really going like up and down this game in terms of who's controlling it.
Alright, Lucas right now needs to get 3 kills, and he will be the MVP of this map. As we are going to be seeing him, the lone defender onto this Delta site. He spots out one, picks him up, down to 76 health now. So he doesn't have any medkits. Picks up a second one as well. He's down to 50 health. Can he do it here? He's stalling it out just a little bit. Nope, the cap does end up happening, but still that 3 cap is definitely going to be paying for itself right now. Luke is still up and alive, which means that not too many of these players can actually reinforce those middle flags from this position. Finally does get picked up, which they will be able to basically tell his teammates what's going to be going down. But in the meantime, we are going to be seeing that seaside starting to go back into the favor of ESF. But take a look at those tickets. They have been able to stop that kind of bad bleed that we were seeing before. Now 184 to 139, so not too terribly bad in this position.
Yeah, that is true, and right now we are seeing this ESF is a push on Charlie, but it is meeting heavy Hyper resistance as Hyper is trying to prevent that cap. You have a 3v2 situation, 4v2 right now as Hyper, no 4v4 situation, or is it 5 even? It is 5 from the ESF team, as we see Winter here throwing medkits, going for the frag, ends up going down.
Yeah, PTFO ends up getting picked up, not really going around the corner. We do see basically a full wipe going down for ESF. Once again, that seaside should be going into their favor. At the same time, we do have the armor up over here for ESF. Delirium is going to be able to cancel out that A burn. That's, like I said, guys, one of the frustrating things to do when you're an armor player, dealing with these buildings. And dealing with these infantry players. Oh, wow, actually disabled there. So John in a terrible position. He misses the shots. Oh, he does clean it up though, eventually. That would have been a heartbreaker there if he did miss out. Oh, wait! What picked him up right there? Oh, I thought there for a second that was the driver who ended up dying, but he did keep his tank. D and B will now be in their favor.
Yes,
and we do see the armor here for, almost said Wolf Team there, but it's not Wolf Team. Armor for Hyper is going to be able to get back that Delta site, but massive push coming in infantry-wise onto the middle of the map here. ESF just overloading it with players.
That is true, and at the same time, Hype is also committing a lot of resources on this Charlie defense while no one is going for that Bravo flag. As we do see another C4 quad with Mr. Senju trying to potentially sneak behind on John, as John is trying to seek this tank action on Charlie flag.
Tank action.
Delirium are also getting nearly ash-shotted by Joyce, who has managed to sneak behind him and is going for getting more spawns in. Ooh, that RPG spawn bomb.
Oh, the tank steal comes in and eventually will end up going down. Nice play right there, I would have to say, from really both teams. Ended up taking down the armor. We saw a big infantry sweep coming in to take down the ESF, or I'm sorry, the Hyper tank, and then on the flip side of that, ESF ended up going down by really weird, like going in for a repair at a really dangerous position. So he ends up narrowly escaping there with not giving the other team a tank. Had we have actually seen a tank go into the favor there of, I believe it was Hyper who went for the steal, that would have been massive. In fact, I can't remember the last time I actually saw a tank steal in a competitive match on Zavod.
Oh, I've seen few. It has happened sometimes, and it's like sometimes you see it, you go back up as a tanker and you like think there's no one around, and then someone happens to be just sneaking around that same rock where you're gonna repair, and then boom, it's gone, and they're like, oh wait, what?
And then you sit there, basically
Crying-
kicking yourself in
crying
your own
about your
butt,
life.
trying to figure out how to tell your team, yeah, I gave away our tank, guys. I'm sorry. But Changus is going to be up and alive over here onto this alpha site. They may be just going ahead and, well, no, Changus is going in for a better positioning here. Not spotting anybody on top of the roofs. In fact, he does see one. Well, I thought he saw one there for a second inside the window. Not going to be the case. We do see another push coming in for Delta. That does get cleaned up. So, yeah, both of these teams really just kind of floating around every which way. Coldrum now able to pick up 2 kills, it looks like, inside the tunnel before he ends up going down himself. But more of his teammates are going to be flooding on into the flag. And again, they've kept these tickets fairly even. I mean, 40 tickets between these two teams, that is absolutely doable in terms of coming back. And oh, Roxon, nice pickup onto Beastie, just really Beastie not paying attention to his surroundings, but will end up going down. Roxon able to get that burn onto the flag. A and B both going to be flashing here at the moment with the tank there from John. Still going to be able to do some work. Rep will end up going down. And now up to Changus here to try and do some damage. I don't think he's going to be able to do much. And to be completely honest, I don't really think they should waste too many resources on harassing this alpha flag. I mean, I really would like to see more spawns coming back towards that Bravo side. We do see this tank, that's going to be Lucas, coming back in. He will be able to get 1 kill, so only 1 more infantry player that he has to deal with. And, I mean, a tank, for the most part, can deal on his own with this back Delta flag. And now, just Kidney Stones is going to be left in a really bad position, actually, in order to take care of that. So, really looking good, I would have to say, here for Hyper, if they win out on this infantry battle here in the middle of the map.
Yeah, that is true, but at the same time, I feel like Hyper should have really, instead of spawning on A with these few infantrymen that they did, they should have really focused on that Delta flag, because they already had a nice little metal control right there.
Yeah, absolutely
They are preventing ESF from pushing into this Bravo flag, and these ESF infantry are cornered right now, pretty much on the same area on these Bravo spawns, and these should be easy pickings for these Hyper boys flanking behind. Here we go, Wicked Way, getting a nice frag on the back of Beastie. BTFO anymore alone on the roof. He needs to get spawns and avoid the wipe, although Crispy and John are not moving back into that Bravo flag, as we do see a potential little tank trade here coming on. John and Delirium may be engaging each other. Are they going to peek? Hello?
They are going to be peeking here in just a few seconds. APS is going to be popped there for John, so no shots are going to be coming in. I don't know if they was able to pop off one there to Lucas, but yeah, both of the tanks now going to be playing a little bit more passive around this build. No, John decides, hey, we're going to go ahead and push it, as you will be able to get that first free shot off onto the tank itself. Another rocket going to be popping on in. Can the rep actually hold on here, as he's getting pushed from every which way? No, Lucas does end up going down. John staying up with quite a bit of health there onto his tank, and honestly, if he just stays up and alive, he's going to be able to do so much damage here with this armor piece. They have cleared out the majority of the infantry players as well, so ESF turning around a 3-cap, possibly going to get a 4-cap, as Kidney Stones will be able to get the neutral, and he's getting the cap there onto that Delta site. Not good here for Hyper whatsoever, and wow, what a turnaround here for ESF.
That is true, but Mr. Lucas here has managed to avoid the tank and decides to go for the Asher, even though, and now he does end up getting wiped. He should have really ran for that A site, as he was in the prime position to do so. We still have Delirium on the Charlie spawns, but it's not looking right now good for Hyper, as they are literally full cap right now. They do get Roxon parachuted down to A, and they probably will get a few spawns, unless Momoy has something to say about it before the spawns do come in. But
and they were doing such a good job too. I mean, they had it down to like a 10-ticket game. And they actually were looking to take the lead change, but just that tank right there ended up really costing them a lot. And I have to think that maybe if they had spawned back those 2 flares, instead of going in aggressively there, harassing those 4 flags, just go for the 3, cap them back, would have been a little bit better, but not going to be the case, as we do have that 4-cap really starting to soak in. Look at that, 50 tickets now. Like I said, once just about a 10-ticket game between these 2 teams. Now it's going further and further. We do have Rox kind of go in for a nice little rocket onto the helicopter. Not going to be able to connect on it just yet. Can't get the reload in time. We do see a straw going off. No, will not connect on that either. But Hyper, they need to do something. They need to get on a flag here. This spread out capping is not going to work. They need to go ahead and just zerg. Grab one of these flags. Get it in their favor.
ESF showing nice defensive defensive here right now on this every single flag pretty much, especially in the middle. Hyper was trying to focus on the middle. For some odd reason, they should have really sent someone to the home flag and maybe even get the AD hold at the beginning, and then try to see if ESF what goes to Alpha or Delta, and then go for the middle.
Wow, Kidney just got owned right there in the middle. Oh man, thought he had the kill, but no, that's not going to be the case. So he doesn't get it picked up. Wintoff trying to fill on out in his position up top. Does look like they will be able to get B, possibly. No, too many infantry players will be able to clear it out. So ESF will be able to keep that bleed in their favor. 4 tickets left to go, and we have a drop as well happening for Hyper. So that may have been one of the reasons why they actually did lose that 3 cap initially. Lucas just trying to do anything that he possibly can here into the middle of the map. 3 tickets left. That burn is going to be able to end out this match with 91 tickets into the favor here of ESF. So pretty good game there, I would have to say overall, just that last little bit. And again, we didn't really notice that there was a drop there, so that really had, I was kind of curious as to when that drop came in, because that did have a huge impact on this game. And you can see right there, look at the scores, 31 and 17 there for Wicked. We'll have to check him out next round, rather. See what damage he's going to be able to do there. 27 kills there for Cold Rain. And then, of course, ESF was doing a pretty good job across the board. But, you know, I want to kind of get your take on what was the deal with the tanks. It felt like they were just kind of throwing them away. That's not something that I'm used to seeing.
I just think Mr. John got a few times. I think he lost 3 times, 4 times on that, defending that home flag on A. He received a lot of air shots and then disables and ended up going down there. They also traded once with the tanks when both tanks went down in the middle. But yeah, it seems like the teams are really like, when the tank comes in, the comms are clear, and they are like, hey, let's focus down this tank, and that's what they're doing. Both teams are doing it relatively effectively.
Yeah, absolutely. So we are hopefully going to be going live here as soon as we get that last player in, and he has joined on up, so we are good to go. Hyper now going to be on the blue side of the squad. Wow. As I was telling Gump earlier, I took a nap about 2 hours ago. When I woke up from it, I have a headache. Eyeballs feel like they're about to pop, and my brain just is not working. Like, talking, next level stuff for me right now. Okay, so. Yeah, apologize for it being a little bit wonky here, because it absolutely feels like it to me. But we do have everybody in, and just waiting for everybody to ready on up. Wow, Beastie with 114 ping. What the heck? Guess
Yeah, that
he's
is
West Coast. But anyways, so what exactly, Gump, in your vast knowledge of competitive Battlefield Conquest experience, what does Hyper need to do in order to come back from a 91 ticket deficit?
Well, first thing first, they need to make sure they control at least one of Delta or Alpha. They cannot lose both of them ever. They need to make sure that one of the flags is under their control. And second, they need to start setting up for a nice little hold in the middle. We saw both teams having like both middle flags, yet neither team was really able to hold it off. ESF was able to do it at the end more, hence they won with higher tickets as they full capped them also, but they defended the middle nicely. They prevented all the Hyper pushes to the middle, and that's what Hyper needs to do. They need to hold the middle, hold their flags, and lock ESF out.
All right, well, let's see if they're going to be able to achieve that in this match. Remember, guys, they just need to be able to take the... Oh, there we go. That's not going to be good there for ESF, as Hyper will be able to take down the transport chopper with a few people in it as well. So not going to be able to get those full squads to spawn back in, as well as seeing a little bit of a Geode Jeep coming around. That's going to be Lucas to possibly hit this tank. I don't know if John has actually spotted that or not. Doesn't look like he has. At the same time, we do see Delirium with a very odd positioning here. He's going to go ahead and just meet out that infantry player right from the get-go, and Lucas has not been spotted yet here from John. Now this could be a very good No! 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 That did not just happen! Oh my god!
Came into play right there.
Did that seriously just... He had the perfect... Oh my god. Wow, Lucas. Fail of the game right there. Could have been huge there for his teammates. Delirium, though, is going to go ahead and push on up. Maybe go for a wide flank. This is the oddest tank game I've ever seen, Gump. Seriously, like,
Yeah, this is pretty interesting stuff right now. As Delirium tries to go for that ash shot, apparently, and John and the ESF boys have John has no idea what just hit me, and then he realizes, oh wait, the tank is there. He's
There's a
probably
tank on
screaming
our
in
side of the
TeamSpeak
map.
right now. I need spawns, I need help. The tank's on the delta. How come no one spotted?
Oh my god. Okay, so he does end up going down. Delirium immediately is pushing on in to that Delta flag. We got spawns coming up as well. They have absolutely no presence in the middle of the map, though, so that is completely empty. And ESF here, instead of going over here for A, is going to try and defend their own flag. LME does end up getting taken down. Beastie now going to be trying his hand at it. Picks up a nice little frag there onto Wicked, as we still see the transport chopper up for Hyper as well. This is a very odd vehicle game so far, going back and forth. I mean, I tell you. But right now, we do have an opportunity here for potentially Hyper to do some damage. They do have their armor up. They are pushing fairly aggressive. Delirium has pretty much the run, and I like the positioning now that he's going to be playing. This is the smart position for tanks to play if they do have a little bit of an advantage in terms of armor. Maybe overextending here, not too sure. We'll see here if ESF is going to be able to take care of it. Delirium doing a nice job picking up one, picking up two, looking for a third as well. Doesn't have to. His teammates will be able to finish them off. So fantastic job there onto his part. B-site should be going over into their favor here in just a few seconds. Wicked now going to be downtown. We did see this man putting up 30 plus kills a little bit earlier in round number 1. So I'm kind of hoping that he's going to be able to do some damage here into the middle of the map, spotting out a couple of drops coming on in.
Yeah, I think Hyper should have really moved on for that Charlie side slightly faster. Like when they got the tank there, they should have gone for both flags, as they would have been able to get both of the flags capped. As ESF was contributing with 3 people to A, and that middle was looking sort of shabby with Hyper having that tank advantage there, and they could have had a potential 3 cap already, and they could be now defending. But which, well, they are defending right now. Both of the middle flags. We see ESF here trying to do some work here on this Bravo flag. We got Kidney Stone just trying to see some picks, ends up getting one with the AEK, takes out the G18, the pocket AEK, and he doesn't find anyone in the
don't be bashing my gun now, alright? So, there has to be, there's always one game in every battlefield that makes me feel like I'm good, and the G18 is that gun. So don't be bashing it, bro, alright? Wicked Wade still doing some damage down below, picks up 2, nice job, almost getting the rocket kill, but not going to be the case. There's the G18 being pulled out with the assist, and if you look at that scoreboard, it is blue all day long here, as Hyper is making a huge comeback, I would have to say. It looks like they're making a comeback, but if you take a look at the scoreboard, it's only by 12 tickets. So they haven't been able to burn too many of them off just yet. Delirium now going to be back here inside the tank. We have a massive amount of players here for ESF as we're trying to clear out those buildings. They haven't been able to spot them just yet. In fact, they're the complete opposite position. And once, like I said before, this is a very, very annoying position for that armor to actually be in. Now, correct me if I'm wrong here, Gump, but they did end up patching out the incendiary for the tank. Going through walls, am I correct? Or is that still a thing?
That is correct.
Okay,
it doesn't burn through walls anymore.
Yeah, so they're not going to be able to just, spam it inside the building and try and get his hit markers to find out these players. They actually have to blow down the walls. Still going to be 2 players there left up and alive. We do see a push now coming in for ESF onto that C side as well. PTFO, basically lone man until his squad ends up spawning back in. Will be pushing out into these middle 2 flags, but we'll see how long Hyper is going to be able to hold this. So far, they've managed to get quite a bit of a lead, about 50 tickets now coming on in. PTFO still going to be doing some damage down inside the flag cap radius. As we will see
Hyper has been able to defend that Bravo side relatively nice. They were able to prevent ESF from pushing it straight away as they got that heli flying around, and they were able to keep the bleed for like 30 extra seconds until ESF then made the breakthrough in frags, and they are now, as you can see, we are now capping that Bravo site with Delirium trying to pop around.
I like that. I like that out of Delirium, switching seats, not being afraid to throw those incendiaries down there, getting as much splash damage as he possibly can. He is close to going down. He has absolutely no reps. There he goes. Spawn 1 is going to be spawning in on him. Can he keep up with it? So far, he is. So fantastic job here from Delirium, staying up and alive And once again, we'll be able to keep that burn. Now looking into a possible 80 to 100 ticket lead in just a few seconds. And this is not the same game that we were spotting before in round number 1, as it was a lot closer between these two squads. Now it's just looking like ESF hasn't been able to really get their bearings again after that little bit of a fumble there early on into the second round. So we'll see if they're going to be able to come back and make some kind of a push. So far, 2 flags are going to be grayed out. We do see that B site potentially going to be getting capped over. Nope, not going to be happening, as it does go back into the favor of Hyper. Elemi doing some damage there with the straws, trying to get as much splash onto the armor as possible. That armor for that Delirium's just been fantastic right now in the tank against this squad so far. So really liking his play.
He has been all over the place, and like I think he's gonna go for the Ash shot on Mr. John now, I believe. I think we're gonna be seeing another Delta push from this tank, and here we go, Delirium going in. He's not afraid.
No, he is not, and he will be able to get the shot there onto the tank. So fantastic communication going back and forth, but oh my god, so many rockets coming in. He does end up falling, but we do see a couple of infantry players there that are still going to be left up and alive. Lucas does end up going down eventually. Will give away that armor piece, but they ended up trading armor for armor, and as long as they can keep this 2 flag neutral burn, I guess you could say, I think they're going to be perfectly fine, because so far they've been able to do a fairly decent job in terms of the frags. Taking a look, yeah, I mean, they're doing okay across the board. There's a few players that could do a little bit better, but I mean, 196 to 114, this is a pretty damn good lead.
Yeah, it is. Hyper has been really stepping up after that first round, and decided to show that now we gotta really play. Like it seems like the first round was kind of what they started to they took a look around how things look today, and admired the map, and then second round they woke up and started fighting again, and it's great to see that.
They were kind of like, oh, we're playing. Oh, we thought it was more live that first round. Sorry, guys.
But it is now the typical Zavod situation. It is a 2-2 in the flag holds.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I was very surprised to see that first round go as fast as it did. It was a 15-minute round, actually a sub 15-minute round for that first time, and that's usually not the case there for Zavod. It does last a little bit longer. Kidney, though, nice pickup there. Pulls out the G18 Pro, as he will be able to lock it down. Not quite on that 3rd kill, but his teammate is there just long enough to get the save. Nice little kit switch going back and forth. Smart play on their part to keep their team up and alive as much as possible with those med kits. And again, we are going to be seeing a stable 2-2 setup. Crispy is going to be going in for a little bit of a back rage there onto that D site, but with the spawns coming in, they should be able to cancel that out. Now, Wenta and company will be inside the middle 2 maps, or I'm sorry, flags. Are going to do as much damage as they possibly can. Not going to be the case, as it will be getting cleaned up for the most part. And yeah, so Hyper still doing a fairly decent job, I would have to say, as just keeping this at a neutral position.
Yeah, they've kind of now, it's been this, actually now ESF ends up taking that Delta flag with the hyper push delay to Alpha, as Mr. Lucas drove into the slams placed on Alpha, and not being able to cap Alpha at the same time while ESF was taking a Delta. So there we go, they get in the lead momentarily, as Hyper is focusing this Alpha side with the tank and Senju, with only Momoy here just camping it out, getting the choice on the spawn, but they will probably not be able to do much unless this tank ends up leaving the flag. And he's looking towards that Bravo side, where we have some ESF action here with Winter looking at the spawns. Does he see Roxanne? Is looking, ends up losing the frag. Or is that the trade?
Over here onto Alpha, yeah, Lucas is going to be doing some work, pushing back that one player there from ESF, eventually getting him. So that should be that Alpha site going, but in the meantime, we did see both of those middle flags going into the favor here of ESF. So this is a very, very bad turnaround here for Hyper. Remember, they have to win by 91 tickets or more. So technically here, we are seeing about a 50-ticket game coming down for Hyper. So it's going to be crunch time right here, right now, for these guys to try and get this burn, even it out. 93 tickets left for ESF in order to come back and take the win here totally for this map. We are going to be seeing Coldrum doing some nice work. Can't quite get that last kill, but we do see some revives coming in. So I'm going to be curious to see how many of these players end up switching over to revives as it gets closer and closer to that ticket count.
Probably in the middle, we're going to be seeing a lot of medics running around. They will be prioritizing getting the revives, if at all possible. Due to that, they do not have too many tickets to work around. As we do see, Bravo, the Hyper Boys are being wiped, but they are still on the Charlie flag. With Chang is here, he's been spotted. He's getting some fire, ends up getting taken down by someone in the tunnel. It was Mr. PTFO. Still 3-man from Hyper here in the middle, but ESF Boys ends up clearing that up.
Yeah, Beastie did a really good job right there. He picked up 2 of the frags from those infantry players, and they will be able to push this tank back. So Delirium, you know, he's trying to put this team on his back, but it's just not going to be happening here in this second round. Beastie going to go ahead, get that disabled. Nice frags coming in. We'll be able to take down the tank altogether. And yeah, this is looking like it's going to be a shutdown game coming out. Hyper looked like they could possibly do it, but in the end, just seeing ESF too strong. Coming out with that very first round win really does give you one heck of an advantage. And yeah, so far just not looking so hot. 101 tickets there, 281. Less than 10 tickets in order to make this comeback happen. John should be able to take care of anybody pushing around for the backside. Those spawns are going to be able to come in, drain it down. Yeah, only about 5 people left up and alive in order to make anything happen. And that's going to be game.
Hyper yet again wiped from the middle, except this heli, but even these guys, nice job by ESF. Here we go. This is exactly what I was talking about. This is what ESF needs to do. They've now got the 2 flags. They set up nicely and they prevented Hyper rotations and Hyper pushes to the middle. And here we go. The tickets are actually down the limit. What means the ESF has officially taken the game.
Yeah. So ESF now going to be able to take round number 3 here. And they look, like I said, they look really good. They very shaky in the second round. Round 1, they look good. They look pretty solid all across the board. Delirium, though. I mean, seriously, like I don't want to just point out on one player, but Delirium was doing some fantastic tank work. I mean, seriously good tank work. And pretty much putting the team on his back. Of course, we did have that really, really weird tank fight that happened at the very beginning. That was just odd. With Lucas failing completely with that Jihad that was going to be coming in. Instead, he ends up getting run over, which I don't think I've ever seen. I've seen guys that ended up failing and then getting run over, but I've never seen a guy where he had time to actually hit the button and failed to do so. So, just not altogether good there for Hyper, as a few little mistakes really costing them the entire map here.
Yeah, that is true. As we do see ESF now mopping up this Delta flag, we do see still have Wicked Way alive and getting the extra spawn, which tells ESF that hey, there's still people on the flag, and now they know they're actually gonna get the cap on their favor. As we do see, see, this is what I don't understand. These guys are spawning on Delta flag with 3 assaults, and the tank is around.
Well, it doesn't really matter right now. I mean, the game's over, so I mean,
true.
It's not really going to be all that, you know, important that they actually, you know, play it exactly like they're supposed to. I mean, if we were still playing like a 2 map, you know, where we were going with overall ticket score, then yeah, I would absolutely agree with you. But
the tickets do count for the overall scoreboard though in the group stage. The ticket ratio, if there's teams that have even points, the ticket ratios will come into place, so any ticket saved will be good.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, but
then again, I have seen that before, like in games where it has still mattered, like things like people spawning medics on flag where there's a tank. It just doesn't make sense.
Well, ESF is going to be 3-0 so far within the round, so they have won every single match. As of right now, Hyper losing out to Uran, who I think is probably going to be one of the favorites going out of the America side of things anyways. Uran, I'm not too sure if it's the exact same squad that it used to be back in the days of old, but I do recognize a couple of the players that were playing, so will be kind of interesting to watch them again. Hopefully we are going to be catching a match here into the future, but yeah, I mean, really good play overall from both of these teams. ESF is going to have to go up against Ace Esports, who I don't think have actually won a match yet. No, they did. They've taken down Commando. So, not really sure how that was going to be panning out. Haven't really seen a lot of these teams playing, unfortunately. unfortunately, last week we did have a little bit of technical difficulty, so I did miss out on a couple of matches. And then we are going to be seeing Hyper moving on, facing off against Uran's second team. So they're going to go up against Uran GG. And Gump, I mean, are you playing with any of these teams, or have you played against any of these teams?
I have played 10v10 with ESF, so
Okay.
I know pretty much the entire lineup.
Okay, so you've played against a couple of other these rosters, I guess you could say. Who do you think is going to be the favorite so far out of the teams?
I think if we divide it into NA and SA teams, I think from the NA side, ESF is probably the favorite along with Exodus. Those two teams will be the top dogs from the NA side, and then from the SA side, I believe it is Uran, but Uran also has a second team, Uran GG. Now whether it's going to be that or Hyper is I don't know. It's kind of hard for me to tell. I don't really know which one is better. Is Uran GG the stronger, or whether it's Hyper or not.
All right. Well, guys, that is going to be it for us this evening. I hope you did enjoy the cast. I absolutely enjoyed getting back into the driver's seat, if you will. And I do appreciate Gump staying up. It's about 5 o'clock, 5:30 in the morning for this man, so give him a hand because he definitely deserves it. And
thanks for inviting me.
Do what?
It was a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Oh, dude.
More or less.
Glad you came on. I mean, solo casting sucks. Maybe we're going to have him on for a couple of other matches. We do have 7 rounds in total. Not going to be able to get to round 4, unfortunately, as we are pretty late on the evening. Maybe we're going to be able to catch a delayed game later on into the week. If that's the case, absolutely follow us on Twitter. You can follow me on Twitter at BrettFX. If you actually take well, no, I changed the screen, so I'm just going to go ahead and bypass that. At BrettFX, you can follow me. Scrublord Gump, I believe it is, _ Gump. To follow the Gump Master here, the Ninja Boat Guy. That's how
no
I
reaps today on Zavod. That's something I want to see. I want to see some ribs on Zavod. Make happen. There is water in the map.
Exactly, there is water. So I mean, why not boats? Why not boats? But anyways, guys, thank you for showing up. Thank you, Gump, for coming out and co-casting. And we're gonna be having some more matches later on. So we'll see you then. Take it easy, guys.